Welcome everyone to this brand new show, which is yet to have a name, but for now we're going to be calling it Real Time with Dan, and today we're going to be talking about a few things that have happened along the internet, in public, and of course, out and about in the general area. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into the first one. First of all, Ryan, right here, has actually uploaded another video. Now, of course, he uploaded his first video about 3 days ago, maybe 2, I'm not sure. He explained why he's been away for so long. Now, of course, understandably so, he'd been away from YouTube for give or take about a couple of months. He explains perfectly well. Go check it out if you need to hear a bit more from his side. I'll link it down below, or maybe I might even just leave it on here. But this video here is his impressions video, and fair to say, I was pretty impressed with this. Like, hearing him doing some impressions of some good characters. Now, again, like, I did not expect this. This was literally, I did suggest this. He said he was taking a note out of my book or whatever. But for the sake of comparison, I do want to just make it very clear that I only suggested this and he decided to follow through with it. And it says part 1, so who knows? He could do a part 2, or he might even go into doing some other people. He might even do real life impressions. So I think that would be pretty cool. So anyway, another thing I want to talk about is microphones. Now, you might be saying, well, what's this one? I'm not going to go into that too much. Maybe I'll touch base on this one another day. But specifically, I want to talk about the mic on, it should be right there. So I'm going to switch to it real quick, so I'm going to ignore this mic for the minute. But for the meantime, I'm still going to talk into it just for the sake of the video. But anyway, so the mic I'm wearing right here is actually the Rode Wireless Go with a Rode Lavalier Go plugged into it. Now, this little microphone is a little, like, I got to say, a little spitfire in my opinion. It's amazing. Like, I personally cannot see anything wrong with this mic. It works brilliantly well, and Rode have impressed me with it. At £144 for just the unit itself without that lavalier mic, it's a steal in my opinion, and it works literally out of the box. And because it's got a built-in battery, it's about the size of like a pack of Tic Tacs, and it can even power other powered mics, even like this one right here. You know, what more could you ask for? But anyway, I want to go ahead and just talk about a few other things as well, like including, of course, this microphone, which is the VideoMic NTG. Now, this microphone blew me away because not only is it, you know, something you'd put on top of your camera to then be like, you know, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Dan. It's also got USB connectivity, so you can connect this to a computer, and you could even like set it up like that and use it just the same as using this mic. So again, what more could you ask for? But the other very key factor is, like, as I say, you can even plug the Rode Wireless Go into this, and you could wirelessly boom a subject. So this thing is super multifunctional. It's got a bunch of buttons and dials. And the thing I like about it is the variable gain knob on the back. It has numbers on it. And I have to say, this little thing has been amazing. However, I want to just let you on a little story. And I think I touched base on this in one of my previous videos. It was the Out and About Vlog 2, I think it was. I actually mentioned this mic at one point, but the problem I had with it is that I got a damaged unit the first time round. So a very unfortunate mishap. So fair to say, I was pretty annoyed at that. However, I did get it returned, refunded, and then I got a second unit, and this one works flawlessly, and I've been loving it. Now, what is the point of this mic? Well, as I say, you know, it's multifunctional. So, say if you don't have the funds for this, or if you haven't got the funds for, you know, the amount of cable, and you've got a Rode Wireless Go and this, then you could wirelessly boom the subject and not have to worry about dangling a super long cable anywhere. So that's one way of looking at it. Now, another mic I want to talk about is this one. Now, this is called the Synco Mic D2. Now, I know lots of people are going to be in the comments going, well, that's no good. Synco are a corrupt company. They pay £40 to people who give them a 5-star review on Amazon. They send them postcard. You should do your research, Daniel. You're a disgrace to this people. Well, first things first, when I bought this, I never ever got a postcard saying that, you know, if I gave them a 5-star review, then I get 40 quid or 40 quid's worth of money, or even a microphone back. Like, nothing ever came through in the mail saying that ever. So all those, although it does say, although that story is out there, it does not necessarily mean that this is completely like, it's not completely. In fact, this thing has been compared by Booth Junkie, which is another YouTube channel, to the MKH416 by Sennheiser, which is, of course, an industry standard in shotgun microphones for major production companies. Now, of course, this microphone is a fraction of the cost. The Sennheiser 416 runs in at around $1,000. This one runs in at about $250, or in the UK, about $239 to about £240 on Amazon. So, fairly comparable price, and fair to say, it does sound very nice. Like, I've actually used this mic before. In some videos, for example, like the impressions video, or the one where I sort of go on about myself, you know, my get to know me video, this was the mic that was above me, out of frame. So that's pretty much the Synco. Although I have actually heard some news from Synco saying they've also announced, I've heard from Synco that they've also announced a new microphone, which is currently actually apparently not out yet, but it is sort of like there's been a bit of a giveaway. Now I want you to quickly guess: is it called the D3 or the D1? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you answered D1, you are most correct. So the D1 is going to be very, very similar in comparison to the D2 here. However, it's going to have a battery pack right here. So it's going to have a slot for a AA battery about there. It's also going to have a high pass filter. I think that goes up to about 200 hertz. Now my thoughts on this. That means instead of having to run this through like an interface, like with this mic, or, you know, for example, like a mixer, you can actually plug that thing straight into your camera and dangle it above. So you could use it very easily for DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. Now, my thoughts on that, I'm quite impressed, and the price point is regarded as, I think it said about $199. So it'd be cheaper than the D2, but the thing is there a place for that? Well, in the sense of trying to rival the NTG4 Plus and things like the Sennheiser MKE 600, those are very comparable, and they are actually kind of the same. So in a way, it is a good competitor in that marketplace. And for that price, you know, you definitely are going to get the benefits of the D2. Although, in my honest opinion, I've actually only seen one video which compares them both. And if you want to have a look at that, then I might have to link it down below in the description of the video. But again, each one true to their own. Me personally, I probably am just going to stick with this mic, because the D1, I see no reason to buy that if you already have a D2, especially when you've already adapted your setup to work with the D2. So anyway, so that's pretty much that from Synco. Although I do actually need to remember, there's actually another mic on their site called the Synco Mic D30, which is quite a weird step, because, you know, it's going D2, then D1, like, where's the D3? But anyway, enough of that. So the Mic D30 is supposedly an on-top-of camera shotgun mic, comparable to this microphone, which, I mean, it's definitely an unusual step, but I mean, to be fair, when if you've got the D1 and you don't want to have such a long shotgun mic, I suppose it does make sense to have a D30, or in essence, like a Video Mic Pro. That's essentially what the D30 is insinuating it's going to look like. I mean, like, what else do you want? I mean, it's a good step. You know, maybe for a startup, maybe it might be worth. I think the price of this one's only going to be about £100 or $100. That's my prediction. But again, they haven't provided me with any more info. But I shall be getting back to that. Anyway, oh yes, I do also want to talk about this other story which I actually discovered online. It's about this kid. I think his name was Quaden Bayles. That's his name. And if any of you don't know who I'm talking about, if you saw a video about this youngster who was in the car and his mum was filming him saying this is the effect of bullying, well then I think you might know what I'm talking about when you hear that, well, that's the kid. The kid in that is called Quaden Bayles. But in actual fact, that turned out to be, well, some are saying it's fake news because, and here's the interesting thing, if you go onto Instagram and type in Quaden Bayles, suddenly you see he's got over 400,000 followers on Instagram alone. So this kid is actually like, he's baller rich. Like he's making his own way in the world, and now there's videos like that coming out. I mean, that grabbed all of our attention, and people are actually believing it's real. Now me personally, I was proper fooled by it. But if anyone is going to judge me and say, "Oh, Dan, come on, give the poor kid a chance," do you realise he could have actually been bullied? If you're rich, why? There's no point going to school, is there? Because 400,000 followers. Not every person in the world has the luxury of 400,000 followers at 9 years old. So if anyone is going to start, judging me and saying, "Oh, you're being nasty, Dan, give the poor kid a bit of breathing space," well, fine. But the thing is, I don't believe it's true. And if anyone just says, "Oh, that's just really rude of you, Dan," what are you going to do about it? But anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm pretty sure this will probably be the one and only I make. Now, I don't think I'll be doing much editing on this because, again, with it being a podcast / show, it's pretty much meant to be unedited, but there might be some bits I might just take out just for the brief moment. So hopefully I'll get a clean take later. But again, we shall see. And hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully you'll appreciate the fact that I am just, I'm trying to venture in different areas of YouTube just because I feel just the flip out videos and just the vlogs, like they can get quite stagnating for the channel and it just doesn't go anywhere. But I want to hear you guys. What do you think of this? Like, do you think this is something I should persist in, or do you reckon I should, just give it up? Or should I just venture into something a bit different? Like, I definitely have some other ideas, but I want to hear your guys' input. So, anyway, if you guys have enjoyed, then be sure to hit the like button down below. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button and, of course, the bell icon so you will not be missing any videos at all. Be sure you comment down below. And finally, take great care, and I'll see you next time.